Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my 10th Q&A video answer segment type of video already, leading up to the release for The Walking Dead Season 6. Okay, so in effort to go ahead and continue to release videos almost every day for you guys, apologies, I missed it yesterday. Damn it, I knew it. I've just been doing some other stuff. I was reviewing the trailers. People wanted to see, my thoughts on the Batman v Superman trailer and Star Wars trailer and just all the DBZ stuff that's been going on lately. There's been a lot of stuff coming out, Game of Thrones and all that, and darn it, I missed a day. So, got to restart the counter, day one again. I think I went about 40 or 50 days. I haven't counted exactly with Walking Dead videos every day, straight through, weeks and weeks and weeks over a month. So that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good. So, in effort to do one for you guys for today, I'm going to be updating my thoughts on this. This video topic was sent to me. Sorry I didn't record the person's name who sent this through, but they had asked basically for my thoughts on an updated timeline and for The Walking Dead, and kind of my thoughts of where the series is at, how much time passes in that. So it's one we've touched on before, so I'll go through it briefly, and then we'll go into some other questions from you guys that that we have here. We do have some good ones. So now, according to the Wikia for The Walking Dead, as of right now, which is the end of Season 5, it says we're up to day 546, which is the end of the whole, Season 5 story with Morgan, meeting Rick again. So according to that, it hasn't even been 2 years yet since the outbreak. So that would be, 546 days, 365 days in a year. So you're looking at about a year and a half, roughly, right? Yeah, maybe a little bit more than a half, or is it about a year and a half, roughly? So now that's the timeline that they have listed there, based on what we've seen in the series so far, the TV show. You guys know my timeline if you've been a subscriber to the channel for a while. I feel like it has to be longer than that, and it should be longer than that. And mostly it's to deal with the time skips, but a lot of, if you look at the wiki, what it has basically is, as we're going through the seasons, each episode, on a lot of occasions, is like one day, like one day. Like, so if you have a lot of episodes, unless there's time skips in between, it's just like a day, and then the next day, and then the next day. A lot of the storylines, as they carry through and everything through the episodes, there's not a lot of time passing in between. Now, us, of course, as viewers with a keen eye that have seen The Walking Dead a good number of times, we do notice at the end of their seasons, at the end of when they're filming, they're wearing, jackets, they're wearing more covering type clothes at the end of each season. You can see some leaves and things like that. Usually, you get a sense that it's in the we're getting close to fall, like we're getting close to winter, as they start to dress warmer versus some of the hotter times when, for example, you'll see Daryl, he might just wear his vest thing and then have bare arms, and then other times he might wear the jacket, as we remember from Joe's group, and you might see their breath in the air and that kind of stuff. But just because that's the case, that's kind of something that happens as a result of the way they film it. So according to the wiki, according to how it's officially laid out, it's not even 2 years. It's about a year and a half since the beginning of the show. For me, I would say it's in terms of adding in the extra factors of Carl's age, because obviously a year and a half, Carl's age more than a year and a half, man. Just seeing fall come and people wearing more bulky clothes, of course, in Atlanta and Georgia, and that obviously hinting that it's must not be the dead of summer, unless it's like late at night or something and it's cooler at night, obviously. So for me, I go like this. Let's break it down season by season. Let's go into it quickly. So we give it a couple weeks. Zombie apocalypse starts. Rick's in a coma for a while. He wakes up, right? And then after that, he goes and he finds his family, everything like that. We've got season 1 goes through. So that would be like maybe I would think like a month or so. But according to that, it wouldn't even be that long because it's like one day. It's only six episodes. So apparently, according to that, they're not really missing anything. They're showing us pretty much what's happening day by day almost. So according to that, it'd be less time than that. But it should be at least a little while, at least a few weeks to like a month for what happens there. With of course Rick being in the coma. So Rick's in the coma, finds his family, all the stuff from season 1, Jenner and all that. Season 2 starts. There's no time skip. So season 2 basically starts off. Now we know they were to go to see the Vatos and that, and the deleted scenes and all that. So you can add on a little bit of time for that, but you're mostly looking at like a few weeks to a month or two, something like that in season 2. Season 2 goes through, of course, at the end of season 2, you get the breathing, you get Better Angels. They're wearing heavy jackets. The scene between Shane and Rick, yes, it's at night, but still you can kind of get the idea that it's getting cold now. It's fall time, right? So now going into season 3, there's the time skip for winter. They've been going around in circles all winter, they say. So here's for me where I kind of, okay, so that's like for me, that's a year, when season 3 starts. In the wiki, it's less than a year, right? And then day by day, season 3 goes through. I tend to think season 3, 16 episodes with the governor and everything that happens with that would be a good amount of time. Now, when you get to the end of that, again, they're wearing jackets and everything, so you get the sense that they're going into another winter. But they're not. Now, you have the governor who goes. You have going into season 4, there's another time skip, isn't there? 6 months. Now, for me, I would think that would skip another winter, and this is where I differ from the wiki. For them, it says that's just part of, when that's occurring, it's just part of the summertime, right? It hasn't gone through another winter. They haven't gone through a second winter yet, in the season 3 to 4, right? Or maybe they have, they just skipped through, but I tend to think it's further on than when they're at in season 4 in the wiki, and I'll put the link in the description so you guys can read it. Then all the way through season 4 with the governor and all that, obviously there's the time skip. There's some time, 30 days without an accident, and the time skip for that. For me, I would say this is about the time when you probably are looking at like a second. 2 winters are gone, and you're getting into about. Your spring, summertime is, late, like spring is in season for me. Them, they say it's, more like just after the wintertime type deal. So, and not quite into the second, not quite into the full second year. For me, I would say it's probably into the second year at that point, if you factor in all the things I talked about, clothing, weather, and all that, and just what it seems to be as a viewer. And then as we go through all the way through season 4, you get the governor attacking, you get them leaving, you get Joe's group, you get all that stuff. It seems like they're getting close to another winter at the end of that season, then they get caught in the train car. But that said, at nighttime, Daryl and the others are wearing bulkier clothing, so we can kind of say, okay, fine. So they're not getting close to another winter yet at this point in time, all the way through season 5, even being in Alexandria and everything like that. It's supposedly, mid-summertime, or according to them, it's not even. It's like, it'd be like springtime type deal. Not even 2 years in. For me, I think it makes more sense to be like 2 to 2.5 years in, gone through, a couple winters and past the point of starting again, of when it started, because it starts roughly, let's say it starts around time of like, my idea is like June or something like that, sometime like that, like near the end of spring to summer, because it's hot out and everything with Rick and that. So that's kind of my idea of what it would be. According to them, it's not 2 years. According to me, I would say as a viewer, it looks to be about 2.5 years. I think it makes more sense as a timeline. But those are just my thoughts. Again, people have brought up in videos in the past that, this is official and you're just, the only reason why they're wearing clothes like that and that kind of stuff is because they, they're obviously filming, so they have to, right? And we'll never see a winter. That's another question people talk about a lot. Will we ever see winter? I don't think so, just because of the point at which they film the series, and in order to do that, they'd have to probably skip a season or start way early while a season's filming, and it just doesn't seem practical to me. It doesn't seem like they'll ever do it. So, yeah, but, as you go through the episodes, maybe like the mid-season finale of season 5, a bit of time passes when they're on their way there, but it's not that much. Like as the season goes through with the hunters and everything, the time doesn't pass that quickly. And then in Alexandria 2, you get the sense kind of that they've been there for, well, in some ways you do, some ways you don't because of the way Rick behaves. But they really not that much time has passed in terms of TV show time. So that's kind of the best I can do to explain the timeline, to anybody, is that it's supposed to be under 2 years. I think it makes more sense if you said it was like 2.5 years, that type of time, and that second time around, and that we'd be, at this point in time, it'd be like the end of summertime, like late August or early September, I think, for this time right now when season 6 starts. Unless there's a time skip, then we'd be in like the third year or something to skip another winter if they wanted to do that. Otherwise, the end of, or all of season 6 will take place, I would say, probably in about August to September type range going into winter, getting ready for winter. Yeah, so that's all I got for that one. This is kind of a funny one. This is sent to me by a YouTube username Daryl Dixon. A lot of people are funny who actually set their YouTube usernames to characters from the show and put their picture as it. I always like that. My favorite one's T-Dog. This guy put his, or it could be a girl, put his thing as Theodore Douglas. Even season 5, he's like sending me messages to his account. Awesome. He says, "Hey Trevor, here is the website to where Darth Morgan video is using a lightsaber with his wolves, or with the wolves. I would like to see you make a video on it in your almost everyday Daily Dead videos. I would like to know what you think about the video, and keep up the good work, Trav." So I'll also put the link in the description to that one. It's funny. You can see Daryl. He's using a double-sided lightsaber, so it'd be like a staff lightsaber, like Darth Maul. So he's like, he's using it all, and then the wolves pull out their lightsabers. The only thing is, though, is that his is dark because this is like red, and theirs is green and blue, which should be the opposite. But anyway, it's still funny nevertheless. Check it out if you haven't seen it. What my thoughts on it? It's just funny. It's silly, and it's on thewalkingdead.com too in the video section. They posted it there, so it's just funny. It's just funny to see. And Morgan is pretty sweet. I got some parts. I'm going to be putting together a Morgan figure for the top shelf. I got some different clothes for him and stuff like that. I'm working on it. There's a release for one that's going to be coming out soon. So I got like a jacket. I got like a staff I'm going to get. I'm going to cut it and customize it and stuff. And he's going to go right up there next to Rick, probably in between Rick and Shane. So that'll be fun. So just to let you guys know about that. See that for the backdrop coming in. And somebody said that they don't like this poster right here, this one, with the eye, because it's distracting. So I hear that. I understand that. Maybe the eye is a bit distracting. Maybe I can move it behind me, or maybe I'll just replace it with another one. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you think it's distracting or not when you're watching the videos, because I don't want it to be that. Usually backgrounds, it's true, usually backgrounds you want to be like, gray tones and things like that are not too eye-catching, right? Cool. Next one's from lanceisgone, and he says, Q&A, why do you think the Walking Dead web series was stopped, or the webisodes? You guys remember these? So this is what I think, and I talked about this a bit at the end of last summer because I was kind of waiting for them to be released, and they never came out going into season 5 from season 4, and they stopped doing them, so there was no webisodes for that year. And I would say probably because, and I don't think we'll see them this year either. I think they're done. I think the purpose of them was to kind of bring attention to the Walking Dead's website, AMC's website. Also to kind of hype up the show, hype up the series, give us a little something before it starts. But if you think of nowadays they just said, screw it, we're going to make a whole other companion series, Fear of the Walking Dead. So I think we're kind of winning anyway because we're getting a whole other show, even if it's only 6 episodes to start. That's pretty awesome, right? It's better than webisodes to get a whole 6-episode series, 6 hours, or almost not quite, like 5 hours of entertainment, which is sweet, or 4.5. So my thoughts on why it was stopped. I just think that The Walking Dead got so big with the trailer and that, like the trailers they release at Comic-Con being on the front page of YouTube, and just the size of the show got so big that they felt like they probably don't need to put in that extra thing to do that anymore. They don't need to hype up the show. The trailer does enough, and it hypes itself up, and that not that many people were really watching them because they didn't really feature that much from the show itself, right? Most of it was like loose tie-ins and stuff like that of either zombies or a storage container or stuff like that, which would have been cool if Dawn turned out to be that lady in the picture, but she didn't, so, not as cool. But that said, it's not a big deal. I mean, they weren't that great anyway. They were good. They were fun, but I always wanted to see them tie into the show more, and they never did, especially the couple that got away at the end of the storage container one, cold storage. I wanted to see them in the series at some point, and they never did it, because that actor, I wouldn't say he's big, but he's a recognizable actor. He was in the Dark Knight Rises, too, and I remember that, which was cool. So, well, we win anyway. We get a spin-off series instead, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I do kind of miss the webisodes a little bit because they were kind of cool just as something to get early October, late September, that kind of thing, and to look forward to. Next one's from Mick-O Reilly, and he says, "Hey, Trev, do you think we will ever see flashbacks to Shane and Lori again?" And I think the answer is no, bro. I don't think so. I would love to see it, and I think it would make sense for Rick. But if they were going to do it, you'd have to think that at the end of Season 5, we would have seen something there, something there from either John Bernthal, Shane, or something. But we didn't see anything. So I think at this point, I think it's done. I don't think that they'll be able to get John Bernthal or Laurie again. If they do, it might be something at the very end of the series. You know what I mean? Like when the series fully ends, if they could get them as something special. Because they did get the governor, and they did get the others in the mid-season premiere, which was great to see. That it made the episode a lot better, than what it would have been, right? So yeah, I hope we do see them again. I don't think we will, and if we do, I'm betting it'll be at like a series finale. Maybe if Rick dies at the end or something, which I've always kind of thought was what was going to happen. Anyway, like when I first started, I figured the series will end when Rick dies. And even then, it might continue on afterwards with Carl or something. We'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, so one more question from Mick-O Reilly, and let's see how we're doing for time. Yeah, that's probably enough for today. I don't want to go on too long. Hey, Trev Q and A question. Do you think that now that Pete is dead, Rick and some of the others could visit Atlanta and the Grady Memorial Hospital and try to encourage Dr. Stephen Edwards to join them? They may need him in Season 6 because more than likely people will get injured. Why would they bring in the new hospital people if they weren't going to use them sometime in the future? So it's a good question. We've talked about this one, similar to this one recently, and all I would say for this one is just that I don't think they're going to do it, but I think it makes sense if they choose to. If they choose to do it, it makes sense because it's always good to have a doctor. You've got a baby and stuff. It's good to have a doctor if you've got newborns and stuff like that. They can do checkups and all that, make sure everything's okay. It's just really useful to have one. So I hope one day they do bring that back into the picture. Maybe Rick can get some numbers from there for the group and strengthen Alexandria. They can go and do that. That'd be a good filler part. But I think at this point it's probably done. We probably won't see it again, similar to Morales. So anyway, that's all I got for this one for you guys. Let me know what you think about all that. Let me know what your timeline is, what you think makes sense. I think the wikis is a little shy, a little short. I think it should be longer than that. I would say over 2 years, like 2.5 years, something like that. Even taking into consideration the points that the wiki makes. Anyway, so let me know what you think about that. And if you like the video, you know what to do. You guys know already. I say it every time. Please thumb it up. Please share it, favorite it. If you're new, you want to subscribe, bottom left, go ahead and subscribe. And that's it for today's. Send me your guys' questions and video suggestions because I'm running out. I don't have that many. See you maybe tomorrow if I have something new for you guys. Always, it's Trev. Stay in peace. See you guys. Take care.